Akashvani presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to begin his four-state visit today to lay foundation stone of various development projects at Raipur in Chhattisgarh and Gorakhpur and Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh today. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman reviews the performance of public sector banks on various financial health parameters for the financial year 2022-23. The Urban-20 Mayoral Summit begins in the twin cities of Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar in Gujarat today. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visits Kiduthani project in Tanzania undertaken by India to provide drinking water to 30,000 households in Zanzibar. And in Canada Open Badminton, PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen enter singles quarterfinal at Calgary. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will begin his visit to four states of Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana and Rajasthan from today. During the visit, he will dedicate and lay foundation stone of projects worth around 50,000 crore rupees. Today, the Prime Minister will be in Chhattisgarh and Uttar Pradesh. He will lay the foundation stone and dedicate to the nation 10 projects worth around 7,600 crore rupees in Chhattisgarh's capital, Raipur, and will also address a public meeting there. More details from our Raipur correspondent.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation two national highway projects built at a cost of about rupees 1,300 crore and will lay the foundation stone of three other national highway projects in Raipur today. Besides, Prime Minister will also dedicate the LPG bottling plant of Indian Oil located in Korba, doubling of Raipur-Kharia Road rail line and Kevti-Antagad new rail line project. During the program, Shri Modi will inaugurate the new train service between Antagad to Raipur and will also kick-start the distribution of 75 lakh cards to the beneficiaries under the Ayushman Bharat scheme. Vikalp Shukla, Akashvani News, Raipur.
During his two-day visit to Uttar Pradesh, the Prime Minister will visit Gorakhpur and Varanasi. He will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects. Mr. Modi will also flag off two Vande Bharat Express trains from Gorakhpur railway station. More from our correspondent.
The Prime Minister will reach Gorakhpur at around 2:30 p.m. He will participate in the closing ceremony of the centenary celebrations of Gita Press, the world's largest publisher of spiritual Hindu texts. Mr. Modi will release the Chitramaya Shiv Puran Granth, which is specially designed to celebrate the occasion. The Prime Minister will also visit the Leela Chitra temple in the Gita Press. The event is special as Gita Press has been conferred with the Gandhi Peace Prize 2021. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of redevelopment work of the Gorakhpur railway station, which will be completed at an estimated cost of around rupees 498 crore. The Prime Minister will flag off the Gorakhpur-Lucknow and Jodhpur-Ahmedabad Sabarmati Vande Bharat Express trains. In Varanasi, the Prime Minister will inaugurate and lay the foundation stones of multiple development projects worth more than rupees 12,100 crore at around 5 p.m. Aditya Shukla, Akashvani News, Gorakhpur.
In Telangana, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of several infrastructure development projects in Warangal on Saturday, including national highway projects. On the same day, in Rajasthan, the Prime Minister will lay foundation stone for development projects worth over 24,300 crore rupees in Bikaner. Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chaired a meeting to review the performance of public sector banks in New Delhi yesterday. She held discussions with the heads of public sector banks on the positive macro trends, improved business sentiments and twin balance sheet advantage. The Finance Minister emphasized on banks' adherence to the regulatory framework by focusing on risk management and diversification of the business space. She said the business outlook is progressively improving in spite of the headwinds from recent global banking sector developments. The Finance Minister noted that while the overall priority sector lending has exceeded the mandated target, the targets in the subcategories should also be met, including agriculture, particularly the small and marginal farmers and the micro enterprises. The Finance Ministry said the asset quality of public sector banks has improved significantly, with gross NPAs at 4.97% and net NPAs at 1.24% in March 2023. The Urban-20 Mayoral Summit will begin today in the twin cities of Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar. Delegates and participants from 57 cities across the world and 35 cities from India will participate in the two-day summit. U20 is an engagement group under India's G20 presidency. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel and Minister of State for Housing and Urban Affairs Kaushal Kishore will inaugurate the summit. Our correspondent reports that thematic sessions on the 6 Urban-20 priority areas, including environmental responsibility, climate finance and water security, will be organized during the summit.
During the summit, mayors from across the world and Indian cities will share experiences of their respective city-level actions and initiatives. Over 500 participants, including mayors, deputy mayors, city officials and knowledge partners will attend the summit. The event will also host an exhibition showcasing India's urban story, especially city-level success, notable projects and innovative initiatives. The key outcome of the U20 Mayoral Summit is the handover of G20 Communique by the attending mayors to the G20 leaders. U20 Communique is an action-oriented collaboratively prepared document that brings to the forefront the role cities can play in taking forward G20 agenda. With Dipendra, Aparna Khund, Akashvani News, Ahmedabad.
The fourth edition of G20 Space Economy Leaders Meeting that commenced in Bengaluru yesterday will discuss space industry partnership on the concluding day today. The meeting is the first face-to-face meeting under the G20 umbrella, as the previous 3 meetings were organized in virtual and hybrid formats. The theme of the event is Towards a New Space Era, aligned with the G20 Summit theme of One Earth, One Space and One Future. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at Air News Alerts. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visited the Kiduthani project at Zanzibar in Tanzania, undertaken by India to provide drinking water to 30,000 households in the town. In a series of tweets, Dr. Jaishankar said the 6 projects India is building in Tanzania will give drinking water access to 1 million Zanzibaris. He added that the local enthusiasm for India's efforts was palpable. He said, delivered by India is a reality today across Africa, and it is visibly improving the ease of living for so many. The External Affairs Minister, who is on an official visit to Tanzania, also visited the stone town in Zanzibar. He said in a tweet that he experienced its distinctive Gujarat connection. He visited the Arya Samaj and Sri Shiv Shakti temples in Zanzibar. Dr. Jaishankar said the time-tested confluence of Africa and India is emerging as a statement of this contemporary partnership. The External Affairs Minister reached Dar es Salaam last night. Addressing the Indian community, he stressed the importance of Mission IT between India and Tanzania. Today is World Swahili Language Day. Swahili language from sub-Saharan Africa is among the 10 most widely spoken languages in the world. More than 200 million people across Tanzania, Kenya, Mozambique, Uganda, and along the east coast of Africa speak this language. The United Nations declared 7th of July as World Swahili Day. The External Services Division of Akashvani has been broadcasting a daily Swahili language service since May 1943 to reach out to the African community across the globe. It is available between 5:45 to 6:45 p.m. daily on 15,030 kilohertz and on youtube.com, and also on at AIR World Service and on News on Air app. In an exclusive interview to Akashvani, the High Commissioner of Tanzania in India, Anisa Kapufi Mabega, has lauded the role of India's public broadcaster. She expressed confidence that under India's G20 presidency, positive outcomes will emerge for the global good.
India is a giant country with an economy of around 3.5 trillion, and it is projected to reach around $35 trillion. If you look at this, it tells us that in the coming years, India is going to be one of the very most influential and powerful country in the world. To commend the Indian government for attaining the presidency of the G20. And I would also like to commend the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji and his visionary leadership coupled with the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
India has reiterated that the constitution of the so-called Court of Arbitration is in contravention of the provisions of the Indus Waters Treaty. The External Affairs Ministry said in a statement that the Permanent Court of Arbitration has issued a press release mentioning that an illegally constituted so-called Court of Arbitration has ruled that it has the competence to consider matters concerning the Kishanganga and Raple hydroelectric projects. India has stressed that a neutral expert is already seized of the differences pertaining to these projects. The neutral expert proceedings are the only treaty-consistent proceedings at this juncture, and the treaty does not provide for parallel proceedings on the same set of issues. The External Affairs Ministry said India cannot be compelled to recognize or participate in illegal and parallel proceedings not envisaged by the treaty. The Centre has approved the draft notification to mandate the installation of air conditioning systems in the cabins of trucks belonging to the N2 and N3 categories. In a tweet, Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said truck drivers play a crucial role in ensuring road safety. He said this decision marks a significant milestone in providing comfortable working conditions for truck drivers, thereby improving their efficiency and addressing the problem of driver fatigue. Well-known painter and sculptor Namboothiri passed away at a private hospital in Kottakal in Malappuram district around midnight last night. He was 97. A prolific literary illustrator, famous for his line art and copper relief works, Namboothiri illustrated for several frontline Malayalam writers including Takaji Jaishankar Pillai, M.T. Vasudevan Nair, Urub and S.K. Pottakad, among others. In Kerala, intermittent rains were reported in some places last night, while waterlogging in parts of Alappuzha, Kottayam and Pathanamthitta districts remain a cause of worry for locals. District authorities in Kasaragod, Kannur, Kozhikode, Kottayam and Pathanamthitta have declared holiday for all educational institutions today. Examinations scheduled earlier will, however, be held. All educational institutions in Kartikapalli, Cheganannur and Kuttanad taluks in Alappuzha district and in Ponnani taluk in Malappuram will also remain closed today. The APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University and the Kannur University have postponed all examinations scheduled for the day. In the Canada Open Badminton tournament, India's PV Sindhu entered the quarterfinals after receiving a walkover in the second round last night. Two-time Olympic medalist Sindhu was set to face Natsuki Nidiara. However, the Japanese withdrew from the second round encounter. In the men's singles second round, Lakshya Sen defeated Brazil's Igor Coelho 21-15, 21-11 early this morning. In men's doubles category, VG Panjala and KP Garaga lost to Hendra Setiawan and Muhammad Ehsan of Indonesia. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Navneet Singh.
Thank you, Anuja. India strongly condemns the poster campaign by Khalistani activists abroad on threat to Indian missions. Figures prominently in the newspapers. Hindustan Times reports, India wants firm action on the pro-Khalistan group. The Pioneer headline reads, Chandrayaan-3 mission launch set for July 14th. With family and inheritance as the main focus, gender parity equality will shape laws to bring in UCC, writes the Indian Express. Pension for widowers, single Haryana citizens benefiting around 71,000 people, states the Tribune. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Navneet. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to begin his four-state visit today to lay foundation stone of various development projects at Raipur in Chhattisgarh and Gorakhpur and Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh today. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman reviews the performance of public sector banks on various financial health parameters for the financial year 2022-23. The Urban-20 Mayoral Summit begins in the twin cities of Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar in Gujarat today. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visits Kiduthani project in Tanzania, undertaken by India to provide drinking water to 30,000 households in Zanzibar. And in Canada Open Badminton, PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen enter singles quarterfinal at Calgary. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.